And we're back. Episode 7, the penultimate episode for Season 1 of the Terminal List. And it's another banger. It's a fantastic episode. Reese has now found out that, there are 3 people, probably the most personal relationships that he has to extinguish in this entire series. Because these are people from his own SEAL unit. These are people that he trusted, that he looked up to, that he took orders from. I believe they're a captain, a colonel, and a lieutenant. And forgive me, guys, I can't differentiate which one is which. I don't remember, but I do know that there are 3 people in his SEAL unit. And it goes right to the top of his unit, right? I love the ways that he takes these guys out. But before I get to that, also in this episode, his good friend, the reporter, Katie, is figuring everything out, right? She's got all the info now to put out all this information into the public, to report on it, to put it out on the internet for the whole world to see. She's uncovered this entire conspiracy. She writes her article, goes to put it out, but it's intercepted by Secretary of Defense Lorraine Hartley. Now, we'll get back to that in a minute. So, I love the ways that Reese takes out these people from his unit. Because like I said, it's the most personal connections that he has to the people that he's taken out so far. These people are people that he worked with for many years. So it's a lot more personal. It stings a lot more that these people would betray him. And I love the way that he takes out one of the guys by taking him out in a parking lot, and then straps him to one of the training logs that they use in Buds, and just lets that log drown him in the shallows in the ocean. Just like he would, just like these guys would do in training. But the thing is they have a team, and I love that aspect of this. He's like, you don't have a team left because you killed them all. So now you have no team to help you lift this log. If you had them here, you would live. But since you're all alone, because you killed your brothers, you're going to drown and die in the place that made you, in the place that trained you to become the SEAL that you are, and you're being killed by the law. Oh, I absolutely love that. I love the way he takes that guy out. And next, so early in the episode, you see Reese building a suicide vest, right? Building a bomb. And you're like, where is this going? You know that he's not going to take himself out just because, or at least I know, right? I know he's not going to take himself out. And, there's a whole other episode left. So, it's not, Reese is going to kill himself. But it makes it seem like it, right? He builds this suicide vest. He tries it on in the mirror. Him and Ben are standing there discussing it. Ben is like, are you sure you want to do this? And it's just crazy. It's craziness because he's taking out guys like on post, on a military base, surrounded by soldiers, surrounded by special forces and SEALs and just like hundreds of men there protecting this place. So getting in there is going to be difficult in itself, but he manages to do it, takes out the first guy. But then with this suicide vest, I love what he does here. He captures one of the guys and the guy's entire family and basically threatens his family. Like, Reese is not fucking around here. Like, he's not actually going to hurt a kid. We know, anyway, that he's not actually going to hurt a kid or the guy's wife. Well, I guess we don't actually know that. I mean, the guy has a death sentence. He knows he's dying or likely going to die from this tumor that's in his brain. His wife and child are dead. His entire SEAL unit said, why wouldn't he be pushed over the edge and maybe make this guy hurt the way that he was hurt by killing his kid and his wife. But so he threatens the guy. He's like, hey, you got one last chance. One last good thing that you could do after all the shit that you've done on this earth. You can go out with one semi-decent thing, which still isn't that decent. He's still murdering someone, but he convinces this guy, like, hey, I'm either going to kill your family or you're going to go through with this. And he straps the suicide vest to this guy and has him go in and suicide bomb the colonel, the higher up that had something to do with this whole setup, this whole taking out of the SEAL team, this killing of Reese's family. And so far as Reese knows at this point, these are the last three people that he's going to kill, right? He kills the guy in the ocean with the log, and then he takes out these last two by suicide vesting one guy and sending him into the other guy to blow him up in his office. Fantastic. But right towards the end, one of the guys reveals to Reese that it goes even further up the chain of command, all the way, in fact, to the Secretary of Defense, Lorraine Hartley. Now, you know, we as the audience find this hard to believe because we've seen Hartley trying to, like, tone things down. She's about to be out of office soon, and she's trying to, like, reduce spending and shut down these programs and take care of these special operators. And so it's like, what? She's at the top of this? She approved this experiment to be done on these soldiers? And it's hard to believe. And then we get the final scene where, like I said, Katie she puts out her story online, but it's intercepted by the government. It's intercepted by Secretary of Defense Hartley. And so you're like, oh shit, maybe she is a bad guy, right? Maybe she did set all this stuff in motion. Maybe she did approve this fucked up experiment on Reese's unit. But then at the last minute, she shows up and she's like, yeah, I blocked your shit. I read your article. It's great and all that. And you're like, oh shit, is she gonna kill Katie? And she's like, it's great and all that, but I thought you'd like to put out the whole story, the real story, because you're missing some stuff. There's some inaccurate stuff in your reporting. And I will grant you a full access interview with me to tell you what's really going on here. So, is Secretary Hartley really a bad guy this whole time? Or is she going to reveal that no, she didn't have anything to do? Or maybe there's even higher up the chain of command that it goes, and she's going to spill the beans on all of it. I don't know what's going to happen in the final episode. Like I said, they've changed things a bit from the book, and so, and it's also been a couple of years since I read the source material, so I could be misremembering stuff. I could just be forgetting stuff. I don't know how this is going to end. I know how it's going to end, I think. I know the very ending, but I don't know how this plays out with Secretary Hartley, if she actually had something to do with it. If in the book, maybe she did have something to do with it, or maybe it was a man in the book and he had something to do with it. I don't remember that. So I'm excited as anyone else was going into this last episode. I haven't watched it yet. I'm doing these reviews as I watch the series. I am not watching ahead, so I honestly do not know what happens in the finale episode, and I cannot wait to get to it. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this penultimate episode. Don't give me spoilers for the final episode yet, but let me know what you thought of episode 7, what you thought of everything leading up to that, and you can give me overall thoughts on the series, but just please don't give me spoilers for the last episode, because I'm really looking forward to it, and I plan on getting that review out to everyone tomorrow and be finished with this series, give you my final thoughts on how it compares to the book and what I thought of the series overall. Can't wait to get into it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you enjoy this review, if you enjoyed the other reviews that I've done for the Terminal List, then please go check out my other reviews, my Jack Reacher book reviews, my Reacher TV series reviews, and everything else that I do on the channel. I talk about all things entertainment and pop culture, so if you're into that sort of thing, I try to do it daily. Not perfect, but I try to put out some sort of content every single day. So if you're into that, yeah, please subscribe to the channel, favorite or follow the podcast. And if you do decide to stick around and subscribe or follow the podcast, then I will talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks.